My name is Maurice Samir. This is Embedded 701, project Smart Attendance. The aim of this project is to automate students' attendance. The doors should be controlled using the student ID and the teacher ID. If the student attends 75% of the session, he should be counted as attended. There's also a smoke sensor that should open the door in case of emergency.
Okay, my name is Ahmed Am. Now I will introduce the flow for the code we decided in Arduino. There are two methods, method for settle and method for loop. Okay, in loop method, initialize smoke sensor and take input from smoke sensor as an indicator. When it increases threshold value, it make blue LED light as high and make red LED as low as an indicator for door to open. Else, it keep as it is. Then for entrance of teacher or student, I will discuss for teacher entrance. If teacher first entrance for him, it indicates to start this session and print in LED. Okay, and the print for in LCD to start count student entrance. And else, if teacher will leave, will update student attendance, and then we'll initialize LED blue LED as to open as indicator for door as student to leave.
Hello guys, my name is Yusuf William and I'm gonna talk about the code of the student whenever he swapped the ID. Now I'm gonna talk about the case if the teacher didn't swap the ID, so one of the students did. So I'm gonna check the ID if it's between the students or the array of IDs that I have to check if this student is already in my class or is considered a student. I'm gonna check first if the student was here, which means if the student was here and he swapped the ID, he's gonna leave. So I'm gonna set the time leave for this student and I'm gonna calculate the attended time, whether he attended some certain period of time and he finished this period and is gonna leave the tutorial. So I'm gonna set the attended time for him to know later if he is gonna pass the 75% or not. Then I'm gonna print all the details for this student. First I'm gonna print his name and I'm gonna print the ID of the student and then the calculated time, the time that he left the tutorial. After that I'm gonna decrement the number of students in the tutorial, in the class. After that I'm gonna set the student is here, boolean was false, to show that the student is not in the tutorial. After that I'm gonna open the door for him and then close it. So let's see if the student was not in the tutorial in the first place, so he's gonna attend for the first time. I'm gonna set for him the time in which he's gonna attend as his enter time, and I'm gonna print all his details, the number of the student name, sorry, and the student ID. Then I'm gonna print the time of the student entered the tutorial. I'm gonna set the student.came, the boolean came, into true to show that the student already came to this day, not only the tutorial but just to prove that he attended the tutorial even once. I'm gonna increment the number of the students in the tutorial or in the class to show the total number of students in my LCD. Then I'm gonna set the true, the student is here with true to say that the student is in the tutorial. After that I'm gonna open the door for him and close it afterwards.
My name is Yusuf Baha. I'm gonna talk about hardware connections. This is our hardware connection for the project. First we have LCD, which is connected to the Arduino, which give and take signals from Arduino and print it on the LCD. Second, we have RFID sensor, which send a signal to Arduino to check if the card swapped is within the data we defined in the code or not. Also, we have potentiometer, which has act resistance for the LCD to control the contrast of the LCD. Second, we have two LEDs to indicate if the door is open or not. Finally, we have a smoke sensor, which indicate if, in case of emergency, it sends a signal to the Arduino to notify for smoke and print emergency on the LCD. Finally, we have Arduino, which controls all the components and connect them together and handle the logic of the code.
By the end of our project, we needed to store the data that we handle in some kind of data sheet. So we used Excel sheet where we save the date and the name, whether it's the teacher or one of the students, the number, which is the ID of the teacher or the student, time in, the time he enters the classroom, time out is the time he comes out of the classroom. Students attended are the names of the students that have entered the classroom at any one point, and attended is whether or not these students have attended the session, 1 for true and 0 for false. So we're going to try. The teacher is going to enter the classroom, and so we see that on 12/7/2018 the teacher with this ID entered at 2:28, and then another student could enter. We have student 1 with this ID entered at 2:28:54. Another student could also enter, and we see this data is reflected here as well. The same student could leave, and then this would reflect in his timeout that he left the session at this time, and then teacher could leave the classroom, and once the teacher leaves the classroom, these are the students that have attended, and they both didn't attend the session because they didn't attend 75% of the session.